this afternoon we're on the Central Coast. We're at Judkins Middle School, home of the Panthers, and today we've got 8th grader Alexia. How are you today?
Good.
You ready for high school next year?
No.
No, not yet. Well, you know, you still got a half a year to go, so let's just work on one math problem right now, okay?
Okay.
All right, why don't you grab a marker? Anything that you think is going to be pertinent or important, you go ahead and write down.
Okay.
All right? A hockey player. Do you play hockey?
No.
Have you ever played
Just in
hockey?
PE.
Just in PE?
Yeah.
How are you?
So
You pretty good? You score some
Yeah.
goals?
Yeah.
You guys knock a lot of people around, or what's going on?
Yeah.
Yeah?
With
All
the
right.
hockey sticks.
Oh, all right. Well, maybe we'll stick around and watch some of that.
Okay.
A hockey player scores a goal on 35% of her attempts. Out of her next 20 attempts, how many times can you expect the player to score a goal?
Okay.
So you score 35% of the time.
Mm-hmm.
You're taking 20 more shots. So out of the next 20 shots that you take, how many can you expect to make?
So 20 more shots.
Right, so you're going to take 20 more shots, and out of your next 20 shots, you're expected to make 35% of them. So how many of the 20 would you expect to make? How would you solve that problem? Here's an easy way to look at it. If you were going to make 50% of your shots, how many would you make?
50% of my shots. 50.
Well, you're taking 20
Yeah.
shots, all right? If you were going to make 100% of your shots, how many would you make?
50.
Well, you'd make
20 shots.
You'd make 20, right? Because
Yeah.
you're making 100% of them, right?
Yeah.
But if you're not making 100%, you're only making 50%. So what is 50% of that? Because 50 is half, right? So what would half of the 20 shots be?
10 shots.
10 shots, right? That's
Yeah.
50%. But you're only going to make 35%. So what we need to do is we need to say 35% of 20. So mathematically, if we wrote this out, how could we write 35% in a different form so that we could work with it easier?
A decimal
A
form.
decimal, perfect. So why don't you write 35% as a decimal? Perfect. 0.35, so it's 35 hundredths. 35 out of 100 is 35%. Now, if I say of, do you know what mathematical term would go in there?
Isn't it like per?
Okay, so 35% of 20, the word of means you're going to either multiply, divide, add, or subtract. Which one is it, do you know?
Multiply?
Right, it's multiply, all right? So you're gonna put a multiplication symbol in there. So 35% of what?
20.
20. So now, what do you need to do?
Multiply.
Just multiply it.
And I want to times it right here in the corner because then I don't want then I don't want to get my work mixed up.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, I see the zero there, and then
Yeah.
a zero and a zero gives you,
Oh, hang on.
you were looking at too many sevens.
Yeah.
So, and then you put the decimal here. Now, I noticed you did something up here, and I know what you did, but there's some students probably watching going, why did she put a number 2 right there?
Because there's two spaces before the decimal.
Right, there are 2 place values after the decimal, so that means you needed to move your decimal in 2 places, which
Yeah.
you did. So what is the answer?
7.00.
Which comes out to be what whole number?
7.
So how many goals can you expect to make if you're going to take 20 more shots, but you're only going to make 35% of them?
I'm going to make 7 shots.
Make 7 shots. Would you take 7 goals any day of the week?
Yeah.
Nicely done.